question 7. Okay. Then the first question I'm going to give with you on the board. I'm not going to give you time, I just to look at it on your own. So we're going to do it on the board. I'm going to show you how I'm going to solve the problems, and yeah, we're not going to see how to solve it. Then from there, I will give you a few minutes just to look at the question that is yourself, and from there we'll solve it together. Okay. Now, whenever you are asked, that is to answer a certain question, I advise you to read the question twice or even 3 times to just understand that which is required. Now, there is what I call key phrases. Key phrases, those are the phrases that you are going to use to actually solve the problem that you are given. In other words, from key phrases, you get the information which is necessary, that is to solve that particular to substitute, that is the values you have got to first of all mark that which you are required to calculate. In this case, we are required to calculate the number of years. So I will come and settle this and say that's exactly what I am required to calculate. Alright. Now, according to any equation that you are given, even if I can give you y is equal to x squared plus h, suppose, and they say that look for h. Any equation that you are given, to can solve for this, you need to have the other variables as well, the values for the other variables. So in our case, to can be able to solve, if we want to solve for n, we should be having the interest, we should be having, that is the principal amount, we should also be having, that is the amount. Are we all together? Yes. So whenever you are required to calculate, suppose the amount, you should be having all of the other variables, that is values. You should have the values for the other variables. Code checking, whereby you want to make sure that the result that you've got is correct. Alright? So with checking is a device that you can always use whenever you have, that is an equation. Whenever you are solving for a missing variable, you can be able to use checking. So let us see how it works. 3, that is 0.69. Yes. Alright. That is the answer that I got. Now, how do you go on? That is to check whether this solution is correct or wrong. Now, your original equation is a equals to p 1 plus I to the power of n. So you write your equation and you say, okay, the left-hand side, so you separate the side. We've got the left-hand side, which is just equal to a, and from what we listed down there, a is 23,000. Like that. Alright? You go on to the right-hand side. Then, P1, that is plus I to the power of n. Like that. Then we've got the values, that is of P and I. And n is our solution. So putting them in, I managed to get something like 23,000 and plus 20. Hey, no. Where now? 7. That's the answer that I got. If you compare it, that is to the left-hand side, because of rounding off, that's the reason why we put this extra 7 here. But if it was not for me to round off, that is my answer. They were exactly going, they were going to be. Now, I've got my first point right there. Do you agree with me? Now I've got another point which is -1. Attention. -1, I see that is corresponds on that is to that 2. So I can just say maybe my 2 is somewhere here. And I've got a point right there. Are we all together? Now the other point that I'm having, am I having 0 to 0? Yes. I'm having 1, it corresponds on to 2, and I'm having 2, it corresponds on to 8. It's quite small, right? Let me just enlarge it a little bit so that you guys can see. But as I said, you guys will be using that is a ruler. You'll be using a ruler that is to do the scale. Yeah. So we're having 1 and we're having 2. Now this point 1 we know that it corresponds to 2. X is -1, y is 2. From the first point. From the first point. From the first point. Are we all together?